It's another beautiful day down here at Twin Lakes at the Westmoreland County Arts and Heritage Festival. And right now I'm going to explore the Heritage Trail to see what it has to offer because I didn't get a chance to get down there yesterday. Come join me.
Queen Anne.
Okay, Queen.
Yes.
King Henry. Yes.
Oh, we're here representing the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. It goes on from August 19th to September 24th on weekends, including Labor Day. And we're just inviting people by royal decree to come visit us.
Village seamstress.
Willow poplar carpenter.
I'm Franz Spohn, and we're here at the Westmoreland Arts and Heritage Festival, and we're making a Gumball Mural of Arnold Palmer.
Okay, so what started this concept? I know for Arnold Palmer, but have you done anything like this before?
Oh yeah, I've done over 200 of these gum murals, and they're located everywhere from Sydney, Australia to Red Deer, Alberta, and everywhere in between. I do them for festivals, art museums, children's museums. I once did a huge mural for the National Science Museum in London out of gobstoppers, so there are quite a few places.
So how'd you get started with the Gumball murals?
Well, the first one that I did was at the Pittsburgh Children's Museum, and it was a request that asked if I could do some kind of a project where kids could make art out of candy. And I just started working with computers, and for the first time I blew an image up and I saw pixels, and I just had that aha moment where I thought, one gumball, one pixel, and that's pretty much what it's based on. So I will, these are 6-foot tubes, so standard issue. If they actually made the tubes bigger, then they'd be higher resolution, but we got 6-foot tubes. You can get approximately 135 gumballs in each tube, so when I work with an image, I have to make it 135 pixels, and then we decide whether it's a 6-foot mural, an 8-foot mural, and that determines how wide it is. So this one is 6 feet by 8 feet, has 134 tubes, 135 gumballs, and that roughly works out to be about 18,090 gumballs to get the project finished.
Ken, I am that guy with the birds.
Okay, so I see you have a lot of birds down here. So
Yes, sir.
How long have you been working with birds?
Well, about the last 15 years. This program, though, was started by a very dear friend of mine, John Leegee, started a parrot rescue. These are all rescued animals. I worked with John for the last 10 to 12 years. We unfortunately lost John to cancer a year ago this last March. And before his passing, he asked if I would take over the program as well as his flock. John cared for over 100 birds. So we have had quite the undertaking taking all of the birds in to our house. They all live with us. Everybody asks, they said, well, do you keep them somewhere in a shop or something? These are very social animals. They need that social interaction with people, and they all have their own stories, their own personalities. They're very interesting creatures.
Bill Ludwig from Lost Creek Mining.
Okay, so tell me what you have down here.
We have a portable mining sluice. We bring the mountain mining experience to the people here at the festival. But what we have is you get a pan of sand. The sand has about 7 ounces of real rough-cut gems in it. You get to take everything home, plus at the end we give you a special necklace to put your favorite one in. What you end up with is a pan of gems about like this, and you have different kinds of quartzes and just a whole variety of gems, some pyrite and amethyst, all different kinds of rocks. You take everything home.
Okay. Well, very nice. Now, do you do this elsewhere beyond here? You said...
Yeah, we go to about 15 events a year. This is a family business. My daughter over here goes to Westminster College. This helps pay for her college. She's also in business, so it helps her with the business side of things. But we'll be at the Pittsburgh Regatta and the Northmoreland Labor Day Festival. So about 15 throughout the year, all over Western Pennsylvania.
So we're here with Stan Gordon.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Keeping busy, talking to a lot of people, and a lot of people are sharing their stories about unusual happenings around here.
Right. So I'd heard a story about somebody described something as a flying iPad. Would you be able to tell me about that?
Yeah, well, actually, that goes back to June 1st of 2013. And, historically, I've been doing this now for almost 58 years. I've never seen a UFO or Bigfoot myself. I've interviewed thousands of witnesses. But many sightings occur over more populated areas. This was out in North Huntington Township, right on Route 30. And this was a woman who did not believe in UFOs and a 3-year-old child. And they were going eastbound on Route 30. And all of a sudden, the woman's on her cell phone. She had to stop in the middle of Route 30 because there's this huge metallic rectangular object about 60 feet away, taking up all 4 lanes of the highway. And her little baby yells, "Mommy, flying iPad in the sky." Well, the woman had to go underneath the object to go where she was going. When she did, she lost her cell phone signal. All the electronics in her car went off on the dash, the radio and the clock. And she tried to take a photo with her iPhone. It wouldn't go into photo mode. When she went down the road, all the electronics came back on to normal. Those are the kind of stories you hear about, but most people see these things with no publicity.
Yeah.
But my hotline's been open since 1969. It continues to be very busy with current reports, and reports come in all year round, all seasons of the year. We get many UFO reports. Even in recent weeks, we've had Bigfoot sightings reported in western Pennsylvania. We've had other strange things being seen. So if people see something, they can always contact me. My website is stangordon.info, and or they can call me and talk to me confidentially.
Okay, I am a local blacksmith. I'm making a trammel hook today that's going out to one of my customers, actually in Australia. And I've got the first part of the hook is partially made right now. It's what this is it's an adjustable hook that goes over a campfire. Okay. So what I'm working on right now, hopefully it's not burning up, is the rest of the hook. Now this will go through the piece and finish it up for you. It'll go into it like so, and there'll be more holes punched into it so I can adjust it. This is an item that would have been made, probably from the 1500s on up.
Ed Kellerman.
Okay, so what do you have down here?
Well, I have my my latest books about the hauntings in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is one of the most haunted states in the entire country because of the history and the number of wars and everything that have been fought in Pennsylvania soils. I have like my Haunted Route 30 book. I got like 55 separate hauntings along there. It runs from Pittsburgh all the way through to Philadelphia. And my Haunted Route 22 book runs from Pittsburgh to Easton, PA. And there's like 65 there. And my newest book is Paranormal PA. That's hauntings scattered throughout the state. You won't see them anywhere else. I'm involved doing a lot of investigations, and I find out about the hauntings, and I research them and everything else. I'm working on some new books right now. I'll be working on the Haunted Route 6, which runs across the northern tier of Pennsylvania, and Haunted Route 19, which runs from West Virginia up to Erie. That's in Pennsylvania. And then the third book is the Haunted Railroads of Pennsylvania.
Jim O'Brien, Pittsburgh sports author and historian.
Okay, so what do you have down here at the festival?
I have about 24 different books. Believe it or not, that's how many I've written, and I'm working on a 25th right now. But Myron Cope, the late Myron Cope, said that I was Pittsburgh's premier historian, and I try to live up to that.
I see you have a lot of different things here. I see some things on the Steelers, hometown heroes.
I have books on just about anything you can think about from Pittsburgh. I really don't care which sport I'm writing about. I'm most interested in good stories. I like to write about the people, not the games, not the statistics, but the people who play the games. And in Pittsburgh, you have fertile material because we have been spoiled. We've had so many great athletes pass our way. And I've always tried to work in pleasant surroundings, so this is a pretty nice place to set up an office.
Oh yeah, my name is Ronald Murphy, and I grew up in this area. As a matter of fact, I grew up in Blairsville, and I'd always been interested in the paranormal, basically because my mother was, and we would listen to Stan Gordon, who I believe you just interviewed, on the radio. He was always on KDKA on Saturdays, a lot of Saturdays, and we would gather around the radio, and this is whenever families could actually listen to radio programs together, and he would talk about Bigfoot, and he would talk about Bigfoot in our area. So my mother would load my brother and I up in the car, and we would go looking for him up on the Chestnut Ridge. And that love for things that go bump in the night extended into my adulthood. Now, I went to the University of Pittsburgh. I graduated from there with a degree in literature, and then I went up to IUP and I graduated from graduate school there with a degree in history. But I've always been fascinated by the world of the paranormal, so I decided that because I have a passion for it, let's see how this will collate if I look at this from a intellectual point of view and an academic point of view. So what I did, I started to look at the archetypes of such things as Bigfoot and werewolves and you know, even mermaids. I have a book on mermaids. And I started to find out that cultures all around the world have these creatures within their worldview, and I found that very fascinating. So people come up to me and ask me, you know, do these things exist? Do werewolves exist? Do Bigfoot exist? Basically, yes, they do, because people have it within their mindset that these things are out there. So it's really irrelevant whether they're flesh and blood animals or not. What's interesting to me is so many people believe in these things, and that's what I'm really trying to get at the heart of. So, but we're lucky to be in the area where we're at, because the Chestnut Ridge has this concentration of all kinds of weird stuff: werewolves and Bigfoot sightings and UFOs and black cats, and even thunderbirds, you know, these large birds. So, you know, anybody that's listening to this show or watching this program, if you want to experience a lot of the strange things, you know, head up Route 30, and you're going to be able to find them up in our neck of the woods.
Baltimore Historical Society, and we are located in Hemphill Township. And what we do is we preserve the heritage of the area that we live in, which was given to Hemphill Township by William Penn's son a long time ago, and it was given at that time for what they call good purpose, which is on our sign back here. Good purpose meant for education and also for religion and church. And if you go out to the area of good purpose, you'll find out that we have schools there. We have Hempfield High School and the elementary school, junior high school. We have churches there too. We have about 4 different churches, 4 or 5 churches there. So through all that time, that has been preserved. What we do at Baltimore is we publish books. We have a restored schoolhouse from the 19th century. It's one of the few schoolhouses in the United States. I don't know how many of them there are that has children come to the schoolhouse, and we have it open for about 20 days, a month and a half, you know, just 5 days a week. You know, these are 3rd grade elementary students from the Hempfield Area School District, and we take them back in time to the days when other children went to school and show them, you know, how different it was for those children over 100 years ago to go to the schoolhouse.
Organization that was started in World War I by the ambulance drivers. It was called American Field Service. Nothing really happened then other than they were ambulance drivers, and then it reactivated in World War II. After World War II, a group of ambulance drivers brought home teenagers from 50 war-torn countries like Poland and different, had them living in their homes, and then sent them to the American high school, and that began the AFS exchange student, high school exchange student program. They're now into over 70 years. When I was 16, I went to Peru, and I've now been a host mom to 24 kids, and I'm the president here in Westmoreland County. We're here with my nieces and nephew trying to convince people to volunteer. We always need volunteers because the kids can't drive, they can't, you know, we don't have public transportation. Go abroad themselves or become a host family.
To support Steel City News, please like our page, Steel City News. Thanks for watching.